Welcome to Crop Damage Abstract, making even more sense of the relationships. I did this crop damage model the other day, and it's one that I've done numerous times, but it's really good at showing how to research a situation and sort of continue to synthesize the relationship model based upon starting with the crop damage. Though what I've been pondering for a very long time is how to simplify one of these relationship models once you develop them. And now, admittedly, this one is not very difficult or complicated to begin with, though some of the ones that we do have, dozens of elements and relationships in them as opposed to just a few. But to figure out how to do it with a few gives me a sense of how to do it with many. And I've been pondering this for a long time, and the other morning, actually yesterday morning, trying to take my fourth nap of the day and not getting anywhere, all of a sudden the answer dawned on me. And as you'll see, it's relatively trivial, which is usually the case when you figure out the answer to something, and when you know the answer, then you can no longer understand why it was a problem to begin with. So if I start and I look at this and I say the insect control, which is the B1 loop, attempts to diminish the population growth by killing the insects, and population growth attempts to promote insect control. So I have a stabilizing balancing loop, which represents these two loops, one interacting with the other. And if I continue in this fashion and I look at pesticide immunity, the control insects loop promotes pesticide immunity, and the pesticide immunity promotes the population growth. So if I add that to the relationship, I now have a population growth loop due to pesticides immunity, and it's a vicious reinforcing structure taking me in a direction that I don't want to go. And if I continue this for the last loop, it turns out that the control insects promotes predator destruction, which further promotes population growth, which further promotes insect control, and I have another vicious reinforcing structure taking me in a direction that I don't want to go. So that I have taken this structure and I have simplified it down to 3 loops interacting, and it then becomes very obvious that I have taken an action attempting to stabilize population growth, and the counterintuitive result of that action is to promote 2 vicious reinforcing structures taking me in a direction that I don't want to go, which is obviously a lose-lose-lose scenario, because the reinforcing structures will far outweigh the stabilizing balancing structure. Now, as I said, this doesn't look like an amazing simplification because I only had 4 loops to start with, and each of the loops only had a couple of elements in it. If I was dealing with a structure where each one of the loops had many elements in it and the whole model had many loops in it, the simplification would look a lot simpler than the original relationship model. And as soon as I get a chance, I'll go back and do this with the model that I used for Storytelling 101, which had to do with unwanted births, and it will probably play out or become a lot more obvious. If you go to the crop damage project, note that this model is on another map in the project, and I put a link here so that you can get to it from here, or here it's just another map in the same project, and it's where you can walk through the individual loops for this, because I wrote a description of each one of the loops, and you can then walk through them. So hope you found this of interest, and I'll see you in another video probably tomorrow. So take care. Bye.